Did you ever check your bank statement and find something fishy? Well, thousands of Wells Fargo customers did. Today, we're breaking down the infamous Wells Fargo fake account scandal. We'll explore everything from the shocking initial revelations to the thorough investigations that followed. Stay tuned as we dive into the fallout, legal consequences, reputational damage, and the long-lasting impacts that left a giant of the banking world reeling. Let's get into the gritty details of this financial debacle. The Wells Fargo scandal came to light in 2016, revealing a disturbing reality. The bank had been creating fake accounts. But these weren't just any accounts. They were opened in the names of unsuspecting customers who had no idea this was happening. Imagine finding out that your bank, which you trusted with your hard-earned money, was using your name without your permission. That's exactly what thousands of Wells Fargo customers experienced. The root of this issue lay in the unrealistic sales targets set by the bank. Employees, feeling the pressure to meet these goals, crossed the line. They began enrolling customers in additional financial products and services, accounts they never signed up for, insurance they didn't ask for, and credit cards they never received. It was a desperate bid to hit numbers and possibly secure bonuses or job security. When this scandal broke, it sent shockwaves through the public and shook the pillars of the financial industry. Customers felt betrayed, and why wouldn't they? They had placed their trust in a company that prided itself on integrity and ethical conduct. The fallout was immediate and severe. Wells Fargo's once sterling reputation was tarnished overnight. Financially, the impact was just as harsh. The company's stock price took a nosedive, and trust from investors and customers evaporated. This wasn't just a minor hiccup. It was a massive blow to a banking giant that had built its identity on being a reliable and trustworthy institution. The revelation of these unethical practices marked a significant turning point for Wells Fargo, prompting questions about the broader ethical practices within the banking sector and leading to calls for stricter oversight and regulations. After the scandal broke, Wells Fargo couldn't escape the harsh spotlight of regulators and government officials. Agencies like the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, CFPB, the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, OCC, and the Los Angeles City Attorney's Office jumped into action, digging deeper into the bank's practices. What they found was alarming. The issue of fake accounts was far more extensive than anyone had initially realized, with millions of unauthorized accounts created over several years. But the wrongdoing didn't stop at fake accounts. The investigations also unearthed other shady practices, like charging customers for financial products and services they never signed up for. These revelations only fueled the fire of public and regulatory backlash against Wells Fargo. The consequences were swift and heavy. The bank faced a barrage of massive fines and settlements that ran into billions of dollars, shaking its financial foundations. Some of Wells Fargo's top executives were forced to step down, unable to defend their roles amidst the growing evidence of misconduct. The legal and regulatory fallout was significant, marking a period of intense scrutiny and change within the bank. In response to the scandal and the damage it caused, Wells Fargo took serious steps to overhaul its operations. The bank beefed up its compliance and ethics programs to ensure something like this could never happen again. They worked on improving how they serve and communicate with customers, aiming to rebuild trust. Transparency and accountability became the new watchwords, as Wells Fargo sought to mend its tarnished reputation and restore its standing in the financial world. These reforms were not just about fixing past mistakes, but were also about setting a new standard for how the bank would operate moving forward. The Wells Fargo fake account scandal landed the bank in hot water legally, with consequences that were both severe and far-reaching. The bank was hit with a staggering series of fines and settlements that ran into the billions, marking a significant financial drain. One of the heaviest penalties came from the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, CFPB, and the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, OCC. They imposed a fine of $185 million on Wells Fargo, which was, at the time, the largest fine ever levied by the CFPB. This massive penalty underscored the gravity of the bank's violations and sent shockwaves through the financial sector. But the fallout didn't end with fines. The legal repercussions extended to the very top of the company's hierarchy, with several of Wells Fargo's top executives facing criminal charges. These charges weren't just minor infractions. They included serious allegations like fraud, conspiracy, and making false statements to regulators. Notably, John Stumpf, the former CEO, was charged with deceiving investors and regulators about the company's sales practices, resulting in a lifetime ban from the banking industry and a $17.5 million fine. Carrie Tolstedt, the former head of community banking, faced charges of fraud and conspiracy, with the possibility of significant prison time, given her central role in the aggressive sales tactics that led to the opening of millions of unauthorized accounts. These legal actions signaled a firm crackdown on unethical banking practices and aimed to hold individual executives accountable for their roles in the scandal. The combined weight of fines, settlements, and criminal charges not only imposed a heavy financial burden on Wells Fargo, but also did lasting damage to its reputation. Stakeholders, from investors to everyday customers, reeled from the revelations as trust in the institution plummeted. This legal saga served as a stark reminder of the consequences of corporate misconduct, significantly impacting both the bank and its broader network of stakeholders. The Wells Fargo fake account scandal struck a severe blow to the bank's reputation, shaking the trust of customers and investors alike. The shocking discovery that the bank had been opening accounts without customer consent shattered its image as a trustworthy institution. In the wake of the scandal, many customers took decisive action, closing their accounts and taking their business elsewhere. The backlash was immediate and palpable as public trust plummeted. Investors too reeled from the revelations, causing significant concerns about the bank's ethical standing and operational integrity. Faced with this reputational crisis, Wells Fargo launched an extensive effort to mend its image and regain trust. The bank overhauled its customer service, making it more responsive and customer-friendly. It aimed for greater transparency and accountability, making sure that its actions could stand up to scrutiny. Furthermore, Wells Fargo beefed up its compliance and ethics programs, ensuring that such breaches of trust would not happen again. Part of these repair efforts included a major marketing campaign designed to highlight Wells Fargo's dedication to customer service and ethical business practices. The campaign used advertisements and active engagement on social media and other platforms to reach out to customers and the public, trying to show a new face of the bank, one that had learned from its past mistakes. Despite these extensive efforts, the shadow of the scandal still lingers over Wells Fargo. Many customers and investors remain wary, unconvinced by the bank's attempts to clean up its act. The ongoing scrutiny from regulatory agencies and continued public criticism show that while Wells Fargo is working hard to move past this, fully recovering from such significant reputational damage takes time and more than just a good marketing strategy. The bank's journey to rebuild trust and restore its standing in the community continues, marked by both its past missteps and its current efforts to make things right. The Wells Fargo fake account scandal has left a lasting mark on the bank and the broader financial industry, with effects still felt years after the initial revelations. The scandal set off a series of deep-seated changes that have reshaped how Wells Fargo and other banks operate. Financially, the scandal was a heavy blow to Wells Fargo. The fines and settlements were not just hefty one-time expenses. They have had a long-term impact on the bank's financial health. These costs drained significant resources, contributing to a downturn in Wells Fargo's financial performance that lingered for years after the incident. But the financial consequences were just one part of the story. The damage to the bank's reputation was profound and persistent. Even years later, many customers and investors remain wary of Wells Fargo, concerned about its business practices and ethical standards. This lingering skepticism has continued to affect the bank's performance and stability, making it harder for Wells Fargo to regain its footing and rebuild trust. Beyond Wells Fargo, the scandal had a ripple effect across the entire financial industry. It served as a wake-up call about the need for greater transparency, accountability, and ethical conduct. The fallout from the scandal spurred a wave of regulatory reforms designed to strengthen the integrity and stability of the financial sector. These changes aim to prevent similar scandals in the future, ensuring that financial institutions adhere to higher standards and that customer trust is not so easily broken. The long-term impact of the Wells Fargo scandal underscores how deeply ethical breaches can affect a company and its industry. It's a reminder of the crucial role that ethical business practices play in maintaining trust and stability in the financial world. The Wells Fargo fake account scandal was more than just a major financial misstep. It was a profound betrayal of customer trust that rocked the banking world. The bank's creation of fake accounts without customer consent severely damaged its reputation and financial health. Years later, Wells Fargo and its stakeholders are still dealing with the fallout. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the financial world. Until next time, keep a close eye on your accounts and stay informed.